Don't be weakened nor deterred in the pursuit of your education. President Muhammadu Buhari advises students of Government Science Secondary School, Kankara.
Let's thank Allah for His mercies.
Rescued students of GSS Kankara soon to reunite with family. FCT begins reinforcement of safety protocols to mitigate upsurge of COVID-19. JAMB rewards tertiary institutions for academic excellence. Hello, this is NTA Network News with me, Jummai Yusuf, and we are live in Abuja. Reading with me tonight is Adiola Kami Akere from Lagos Network Center, while Muhammad Ibrahim will be joining me later from Maiduguri. We begin with the latest on the presidency, as President Muhammadu Buhari has strongly advised the students of Government Science Secondary School Kankara that regained freedom after 6 days in captivity neither to be weakened nor deterred in their pursuit of education. This was while formally meeting the students at the Government House in Katsina. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
Without doubt, the students, 344 of them, averaged 12 years, went through harrowing experiences in the hands of the bandits who kidnapped them 6 days ago. They were freed Thursday evening through combined efforts of the military, other security agencies, government officials, and Miyetti Allah, a socio-cultural organization of the Fulanis. President Muhammadu Buhari, who sympathized with the students, described as regrettable their abduction by the criminal elements who do not mean well for the country. He, however, insists that the past must be kept behind, no matter the difficulty. Education, he emphasized, is critical not only for their future well-being, but also that of their families and indeed the nation. President Buhari told the students that with proper education, nothing is impossible for them to achieve in life for the greater good of the society. The federal government, he promised, will do whatever it takes within its power towards securing the country more effectively and providing the desired environment for socio-economic growth and development. President Buhari therefore charged the nation's military and other security services to remain alive to their responsibilities of protecting lives and property, as well as Nigeria's territorial integrity with high sense of patriotism. The president expressed the belief that the Kankara students' abduction at the time of his visit to Katsina was an attempt to test the will of his administration. This, he promised, will not be repeated, and that efforts will also be intensified towards ensuring that all other Nigerians in captivity are freed.
Ina muku fatan alheri, ina muku fatan mu yi kokari mu gina muku Najeriya sosai yadda za ku samu tafiyarwa insha Allah.
Governor Aminu Bello Masari told the president that lessons have been learned from the recent abduction saga and will be effectively utilized in the best interests of all.
We hope by the operations carried out, a window has now been opened so that we can be able to resolve all issues that are affecting insecurity, not only in Northwest, but in all other regions of this country. This is a wake-up call to every one of us to see that together we can make it. Together we can succeed. Security is everybody's business.
President Muhammadu Buhari has since returned to Abuja after a week-long private visit to his ancestral home of Daura, Katsina State, the first since August 2019. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as rescued students of the Government Science Secondary School Kankara await to reunite with their families, a cross-section of people in Katsina have commended the efforts of government in bringing back all the 344 abducted students safely. Correspondent Ibrahim Kabir, who went round Katsina metropolis, reports that the successful rescue of the abducted students was a topic of discussion among the public. Those who spoke to NTA News expressed gratitude to government and security personnel for rescuing the students without collateral damage. The respondents therefore called on authorities to improve upon its security system in schools and other public places to guard against future occurrences of similar incidents.
Security is a collective responsibility. Therefore, all hands must be on deck to ensure adequate security of our lives and property.
We prayed for safe release of the students by their abductors. This is our duty as good citizens.
Meanwhile, wife of Katsina State Governor Hadiza Aminu Bello Matsari has expressed happiness with the rescue of the abducted students, calling on the students not to allow the incidents to deter their educational pursuit. Now, the federal government has called on those who are desperate in politicizing the nation's security situation to desist from doing so in the interest of the country. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Fossen was there.
The briefing is coming on the heels of the rescue of the 344 Government Science Secondary School Kankara students. Lai Mohammed expressed displeasure over the manner in which some commentaries were put out to politicize the matter.
Some Nigerians went as far as denigrating their government and country in the most uncouth and irresponsible manner. They simply threw decorum to the wind and allowed their emotions to take a better part of them. When disasters and tragedies strike, people come together. We hope the naysayers have learned their lessons. And we hope those who have started trading and politicking with the hashtag Bring Back Our Boys can now go home, as our boys have been brought back.
The minister said, as a responsive government, it has always accepted responsibility rather than remain in self-denial, a situation that has always made the difference in any abduction, and therefore the federal government, he maintained, will not relent until all those who are still in captivity in Chibok and Dapchi are rescued and reunited with their parents. The minister said government will not condone a situation where children go to school with fear, as it is putting in place necessary measures to secure all schools and Nigerians alike. Noting that school insecurity is not synonymous to Nigeria alone, and so the release of the schoolboys is a testament to the importance the present administration attaches to security and safety of the citizens.
Let me state here that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari will continue to do everything possible to prevent the recurrence of these school abductions. But we also make bold to say that we have moved with speed and determination each time we have faced the challenges of school abductions. And the results attest to this.
Responding to questions from journalists who sought to know the terms in which the boys were released, Lai Mohammed quickly cleared the air.
The last leg of your question says that you believe that money changed hands. Money did not change hands.
He also debunked the involvement of Boko Haram, saying they were merely trying to seek relevance. In Abuja, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
And notable individuals, government institutions and private organizations have commended the efforts of the federal government and security agencies towards the release of the government science secondary school students. Elizabeth Omori compiled some of these recommendations.
President of the Senate Hamid Lawan said he's relieved at the news of the release of the hundreds of schoolboys kidnapped last week Friday at the government science secondary school Kankara in Katsina State. In a statement, Senator Lawan said this news will delight their parents and all people of goodwill who have been horrified by the ordeal of the innocent children. Senator Lawan applauded the prompt intervention and productive engagement of President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State and security agencies for their coordinated efforts. In the same vein, the Northern Governors Forum has commended President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Aminu Masari, security agencies, community leaders, and all stakeholders who contributed in making sure the schoolboys were released unharmed. Considering the efforts of the federal government and the military in the release of the abducted students, the chairman of the East Governors Forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, has appealed to Nigerians to support the service chiefs by giving them information instead of calling for their sack.
They need information, they need our support, they need our prayers. Nigerians should appreciate the time we are passing through now.
In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And joining me via Zoom is Dr. Olushola Ephraim Oluwanika, Chief Consultant Psychiatrist, National Hospital Abuja, to provide a guide for parents of the rescued students when they are finally reunited with them. Doctor, at a time like this, after going through 5 days of harrowing experience, what kind of effect will such an experience have on boys and their parents, and how best can those around them help them cope with the trauma? You're welcome to NTA Network News.
Thank you. First of all, let me join others in thanking God and the government and all those that made sure that these boys were recovered. Now that they have been found, the first thing is to remember that they've gone through a very difficult experience, a harrowing experience. And what they will need now is, first of all, to be made to feel safe and secure. These boys, there's some of them, they're just teenagers, and so they don't have a lot of experience with this type of thing. So first of all, they need to be made to feel secure. Just feel safe and secure. Secondly, they need to be made to be calm. No, but they don't need to be made to talk immediately. They need to be allowed to absorb the experience and talk about it at the pace that they themselves can cope with. This is the time they need social, emotional support and physical support as well. These children have not eaten well, they have probably not slept well, and so they need the physical support. They need to be given good rest, safety and succor. That's the most important thing they need now.
Okay, psychologically, as parents, not knowing where a child is, what is happening to him, how can he come back home? For the parents, how do they begin to regain their confidence in sending their children back to school?
Well, that's going to need some confidence building. And the first thing is that in the immediate term, they need to let the children know that the people who took them away will be the winners if they never go back to school. So they need to know that they have won the first leg because they have been recovered. But the real victory will be when they actually go to school and get very educated, and they become important people who can contribute to the society. So the parents need to be helped to see this long-term view. Of course, I'm sure that government is going to take all the steps to secure the school very well, to make sure that that kind of thing will never happen again. Because I think that there's a Safe Schools initiative, and I hope that it will be broadened to cover more of these schools so that children in every school are made to feel safe. It's not only these ones. Every parent who has children in boarding house now might also be feeling afraid. So we pray that the whole community, government can't do it alone. All of us as a society will we're on the lookout to make sure that our schools are safe. And whatever we can do to join hands to support the government to do this, we should.
Yes, I'm sure most Nigerians, every Nigerian is happy these boys are back home, and before they reunite with their parents, there will be a lot of, medical inquiry into their health. Thank you so much, Dr. Olushola Ephraim Oluwanika, Chief Consultant Psychiatrist, National Hospital Abuja, for providing an insight on how these boys should be handled psychologically. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, in the meantime, the Defense Headquarters say the rescue of Kankara secondary school students by troops were made possible with the receipt of credible intelligence. A statement by the Coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Major General John NTA, indicates that troops operated with high degree of professionalism to ensure they were all rescued alive. The Military High Command commended troops of Operation Haider and Daji, other security agencies and the public that volunteered information for their dexterity. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Fireball have eliminated scores of Boko Haram terrorists and captured gun trucks, arms and ammunition in Kukawa and Gomboru Gala local government area of Borno State. Acting Director of Defense Media Operations, Brigadier General Bernard Onyeko, says in a swift reaction to the attacks in these areas, troops of 401 Special Forces Brigade eliminated 9 Boko Haram terrorists and destroyed a gun truck, 1 aircraft and captured 3 AK-47 rifles among other assorted ammunition. The Nigerian Customs Service has pledged to discharge its responsibility with due diligence following the reopening of the country's land borders after 16 months of closure. Comptroller General of Customs Hamid Ali disclosed this at the graduation of senior and junior course participants at Customs Staff College, Gwagwalada, Abuja. Kunle Adeye has the report.
The nation's land borders were closed in August 2019, principally to check smuggling of light arms and contrabands into the country. The reopening of the borders is coming at a time when the managers of the borders will be deploying some of these course participants to different custom formations for the customs boss. Various service-wide reforms and the approval of e-customs operations are pointers to the professional capacity of the personnel, especially as the African Continental Free Trade Area is set to take off next year.
Some will consider that we have a very lengthy border and custom cannot be everywhere. Even now that we have a joint operation whereby everybody is involved. So the issue of saying we are going to completely stop smuggling is unlikely. But what customs and other agencies will do is to ensure that we reduce it to the barest minimum.
We are happy that the existing training colleges are going to get a new lease of life, while new ones for specialized trainings will soon be established under the TRADOC arrangement. And with the permission of my commander, I would like to observe that the working synergy between TRADOC and human resource development has gotten off to a perfect start.
The excesses of smugglers at borders can be reduced. In Abuja, Kunle Adeye, NTA News.
Up ahead, FCT begins enforcement of COVID-19 protocols to ensure safety. Details after the break. Don't go away.
Easy motion.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas, Nigeria. Dial *777#. Glow.
As part of preparatory activities for the next population and housing census, the National Population Commission conducts enumeration demarcation exercise in selected local government areas of the 36 states from 9th December 2020 to 20th January 2021. Enumeration area demarcation is the division of the country into small unit areas that can be covered by a pair of enumerators during the census period. During the exercise, demarcators will be seen moving around in your communities to number houses, make inquiries about the households, and map enumeration and registration areas. The general public is invited to note that enumeration area demarcation is not the enumeration of the population. Please cooperate with the demarcators. National Population Commission announcer.
The new Lifebuoy hand sanitizers with 70% alcohol will kill 99.9% of germs. Now available in convenient packs. Let us all take responsibility to fight this pandemic together.
Mommy is back!
Guess what's inside?
Chocolate. Biscuit.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
Cavity? What cavity?
Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day.
Mom, can I eat chocolates now?
As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
We congratulate you for progress on your journey. Now, Nigeria's #1 choice of mothers have Molfix Air Dry. Thanks to its ultra absorbency and breathability, Molfix has the dryness all the mothers dream of. So the babies will not experience any rash. Babies are always comfortable. Mothers are too, because they don't need to worry about ventilation. Thanks to Molfix Air Dry. Now babies and mothers enjoy the ultimate kiss. Come and join the mothers who experience Molfix Air Dry.
There are no small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Out on the Premier League Live as Southampton take on Manchester City from 3:30 p.m. on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Papa Ijebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
It's good to know you're still there. Now let's get you up to speed with stories making the rounds. The Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, has urged traditional rulers to give continuous support to the government for enhanced implementation of development programs across the country. Just while hosting traditional rulers who visited from Lagos, National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Ninth House of Representatives, the Speaker added, is committed to impact lives across the 360 federal constituencies in the country through legislative mandate as enshrined in the Constitution. Gbajabiamila noted that the traditional institution is key to the success of any given administration, considering its efficiency in mass mobilization.
We're here to work with each other, to support you. But most importantly, your prayers, your support over the years have come a long way in getting us to where we are today.
The Alara of Ilera Ekpe, Oba Olufola Rinkayode, extolled the leadership qualities of the Speaker and advised him to ensure that the traditional institution is accorded a greater role in relevant national affairs.
We are very, very proud of you, sir, for all the good things that you have been doing, not only to Lagos State, but to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
In another development, the House Committee on Ecological Fund, during an oversight to the National Hospital in Abuja, stressed that all MDAs drawing from the fund must expend it on approved projects.
Each local government of the Federation, they collect this money as part of their FAC. Even the entire 36 states of the Federation and the FCTC. So we are looking at the way that there is going to be a weaving coordination.
The erosion menace at the hospital, the committee said, has to be arrested to prevent more damage to the facility. Lami Ali, NTA News.
In addition to significant contributions to gross domestic products, the creative industry can also use soft power diplomatic platforms to sell Nigeria's image and attract foreign direct investment. At this time, Nigeria is diversifying the economy and changing the global perception about the country. At an audience to Actors Guild of Nigeria, Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema said there is comparable advantage in the creative industry which, if realized through partnership, is capable of transforming Nigeria's glory. While exchanging views on the new thinking, both parties agree that with the establishment of Pan-African Cultural Diplomatic Vehicle, Nigeria will attract global market and positive attention needed for social and economic development.
Helped Nigeria become the largest economy in Africa was when the economy, the econometrics was rebased and factored in the cultural and creative industry.
During the proposed meeting in Lagos, we shall discuss on investment opportunities in the film industry and co-production arrangements and hopefully sign an MOU. We are also currently working on a twining arrangement with the British Equity under the auspices of the International Federation of Actors, FIA.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Actors Guild of Nigeria said they will develop a framework for partnership. Now to other stories. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is set to commence rigorous enforcement of adherence to safety protocols of COVID-19 in the territory. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello made this known while briefing the media in Abuja. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
Based on the resolutions reached at the Federal Executive and National Economic Council meetings, as well as the Public Health Advisory of the NCDC, the FCT administration will commence rigorous enforcement of the adherence to the safety protocols of COVID-19. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello says areas of enforcement will include mandatory use of face masks in public places and restrictions of all physical meetings, among other safety protocols. The minister also noted that all regulations issued as conditions for the reopening of places of worship and recreational centers still subsist, while heads of various congregations and operators are advised to ensure compliance.
The enforcement teams will once again move out on the streets of the FCT and will be working very closely with the judiciary through the mobile court systems under existing approved laws.
Chairman of the FCT COVID-19 enforcement team, Ikaru Atta, promised to hit the ground running.
We'll start with intensive advocacy, talking to people. After that one, we'll go again. When we see that they remain very heady, we'll have no choice than to really enforce compliance.
With the rise in the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, residents are advised to adhere with the recommended health guidelines, especially now that the festive period is approaching. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
And now to talk about these and more is Dr. Sani Aliu, National Coordinator, Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. He's joining me to talk about this and new protocols in the midst of a second wave of COVID-19. You're welcome to Network News.
Good evening.
The whole world is staggering. Really staggering. You know, you watch the news all over the world and you see the numbers going up every day by the second. And here in Nigeria, we're having our own second wave again. It might not be as bad as the Western world, but what kind of protocols do we need to put in place in case the resurgence comes in and nothing is being done to mitigate against the upsurge? What can we do to make sure that we don't have a very widespread of COVID-19, you know, in Nigeria?
Well, all I can say at this moment in time that this is serious and people need to wake up, honestly. Not only are we going into a second wave, if you look at the indices, the last time we locked down, we only had a handful of a few hundred cases in the country. And we know from the review of our activities and our performance that one of the reasons why we were able to get on top of it was because we started early. This time around, for the first time yesterday, we've had more than 1,000 cases a day. And remember, for every one positive that we get in the lab, on average, we're missing possibly between 7 to 10 cases.
And yes, 7 to 10 cases. Is that through community transmission?
Absolutely. Community transmission is the main driver. We've looked at international travel because we're very good at blaming others, but actually, this is coming from the community. Look at what is going on in terms of the mass gatherings, the parties, the weddings where there's absolutely no wearing of face masks. It's almost like we are taunting death itself, because COVID is death in a way. We are taunting COVID and saying, come and get us. The number of patients going into our treatment centers at the moment, it's starting to overwhelm our health system. I'm having calls continuously of people becoming sick and having to go into Gwagwalada National Hospital, etc. And all for a preventable illness, an illness that if you really take care, you are very unlikely to catch it. It is not hugely infectious if you are constantly protecting yourself. I'm pleased the Honorable Minister of the FCT is now putting in place enforcement measures. But from the PTF side, we've already debated this yesterday. The only reason why we haven't rolled it out was because we were waiting for Mr. President to come back from Katsina and get the necessary approvals. But no reasonable government will sit down and allow its people to start getting sick and start dying. And people are starting to die from this. A few days ago, we were almost running out of oxygen because of the number of people that required oxygen in the FCT. And it's the same in Lagos. We are seeing more and more cases. And with COVID, it's not just the COVID causing the deaths. No, it's the impact it's having on other parts of the health system. You have malaria, you have a severe infection in a child, and meanwhile, all the beds have been taken up by adults with COVID infection.
Yes, I had on CNN that developing countries might not get the COVID so soon. So if it's still far away, how can we afford another lockdown if the situation goes out of hand?
This is binary. It's a binary decision. Do we want to avoid a lockdown? If we want to avoid a lockdown, the only way to avoid a lockdown is to make sure we implement those non-pharmaceutical interventions now and implement them effectively. People who are not wearing face masks, we should make sure that this is enforced. If you meet somebody without a face mask, don't even interact with him, because that person is putting you at risk unnecessarily. Offices will need to decongest. We are having outbreaks in our government offices simply because people are completely throwing caution to the wind. We will identify people who would be held accountable for enforcing this, whether it's commercial premises or it's office premises or it's markets.
Okay, on the last note, the festive season is just around the corner. We're running out of time. What advice do you have for Nigerians? Briefly.
Let's survive 2020. There will be other Christmases, there will be other festivities, there will be other New Years, but we need to make sure that we are alive first. There were people who were with us at this time last year. They have left us now because of COVID. Let's make sure that we survive this so that we can celebrate future festivities. Let us not allow coronavirus to celebrate Christmas and New Year with us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sani Aliu, National Coordinator of Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. It's been a pleasure having your input on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Fantami, has directed the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, and the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, to remove the 20 USSD fee imposed on subscribers for NIN retrieval requests. A statement by the spokesperson to the Minister of Communications, Digital Economy, Uwa Suleiman, indicates that the Minister's directive, which takes immediate effect, is an intervention aimed at making the process easier and affordable. In a letter conveying the implementation of the directive, the Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, and the Director General of NIMC informed Pantami that the relevant authorities have made and negotiated a waiver with the mobile network operators in that regard. The statement adds that by this waiver, all Nigerian subscribers and applicants can access the service using the *346# code. I'll take that again. The *346# code for their NIN retrieval at no charge for the duration of NIN SIM card integration exercise. Now talking education, the Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, has awarded 375 million naira to 4 tertiary institutions for their outstanding adherence to international best practices in their admission processes in 2019. National Tertiary Administration Performance Merit Award, tagged 2019 NATAP-M Award, Olaiko Ojo reports that each of the institutions received the sum of 75 million naira at the second edition of the awards.
NATAP Merit Award seeks to promote excellence among tertiary institutions in Nigeria, as well as support institutions to ensure that Nigerians desirous of tertiary education get quality education through 5 categories: the most subscribed institutions by candidates, the most national institution in terms of admission spread.
That is completion of admission within the stipulated time. Process is admission whether full-time or part-time on caps.
And as the nation's tertiary education system continues to be in the front burner at national and international discourse, Minister of Education Adamu Adamu said a lot is expected from tertiary institutions, particularly at this critical period of nation building.
The government is conscious of all the expectations people have, and everything is being done to satisfy the yearnings of Nigerians for the nation's tertiary institutions to continue to play the role we expect them to play.
The moment for the announcement of the 2019 winners of the award saw the likes of University of Ilorin, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Federal University Wukari, and Ogun State Institute of Technology clinching the star prize in the different categories.
This money will make creating pathway between buildings on campus something that will be useful to all of us.
The award was instituted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in 2018. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
Adiola is ready with the next set of reports in our Lagos studio. Hello, Adiola.
Thank you, Jummai. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has awarded a cash gift of 5 million naira to the best master's degree student of Lagos State University, Shola Olabanjo, for graduating with cumulative grade point average of 4.95 on a scale of 5.0. Thomas Ogbetere reports that Oladimeji Shotunde, the best first-degree graduating student, also won a postgraduate scholarship to any university of choice in the world.
It was the 24th convocation ceremony of Lagos State University. Out of a total of 917,650, Shola Olabanjo emerged the best graduating master's degree student with a cumulative grade point average of 5.0.
Confidence blossomed into accepting success as attainable, bearing in mind the hallmark that success is never without a cost, a combination of late nights, early mornings, collaborations, standalones, and a bit of luck.
There's a need for them to maximize campus life, partake in extracurricular activities, get skills that are contemporary, skills that are required out there in the labor market.
So in all things you do, I think God is done about the glory.
Besides the cash gift by the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, he has been offered automatic employment in the Lagos State Public Service as part of reward for academic excellence. The governor, who is still on self-isolation after contracting coronavirus, joined the event virtually from the State House Marina as the visitor to the university. He said,
"The task of educating potential leaders goes beyond the perennial churning out graduates and granting academic degrees. We must never forget that the growth and survival of our country may eventually be determined by the quality of the graduates."
And you can see that because we have always been driven by merit, you can see the kind of output that is coming out.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also disclosed that Lagos State has started to brace itself for the opportunities in the manufacturing sector, driven by application of technology and artificial intelligence to raise the sector's capacity and output. In Lagos, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Now to the legislature. The passage of the Lagos State Lottery and Gaming Authority Bill into law by the Lagos State House of Assembly is to ensure proper regulation of underage gaming and operators in lottery and betting activities. This was re-echoed by government officials at an event to wrap up year 2020. Amaka Owo reports.
Some people have negative impression about casinos, betting and other gaming activities. In order not to throw away the baby with the bath water, the Lagos State government put in place mechanisms to address underage participation, even as the benefits of such ventures were highlighted.
Some of the money we use is to augment the negativity. We're building school, fire station, fire trucks. That's where the money is going back to.
Some of the projects executed with the fund generated from lottery and gaming are uniform for Lagos State Neighborhood Corps, grant to Bestman Games Initiative to educate pupils across schools in Lagos State on financial literacy.
Chairman House Committee on Finance said the State House of Assembly has played its constitutional role in curbing adverse consequences of gaming addiction.
The vulnerable, the ones that are less than 18 years, should not be exposed to online gaming and casino because it can modify and structure their life. And more importantly, for those that are addicted, there are even provision in the law to rehabilitate them and bring them back to the society. So it's more of all those have been captured in the Casino and Gaming Consolidated Law of 2020.
As the year 2020 winds down, the government says the expectation is for the sector to add more value to internally generated revenue in the coming years. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
We're done from here, but we'll go on another quick break. The news will continue thereafter. Just stay with us.
There is one that has class. And did I pass my neighbor? Gadgets for every moment. Redmi Note 9 Pro. Upgrade your life. Powered by Xiaomi.
Supporter of the best supporters in the world. Glow, cause we love it.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat-trick today.
Cool.
Wow.
And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this.
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
From every angle, from every view,
Forever my baby, I'll always have my eyes on you. From north to south, from the east to the west, you drive my heart, I always have my eyes on you. And yes, it's true, you remind me of a lovely picture, it's true, I can't deny. I've got my eyes on.
If you truly love it, get the Leadway Auto Insurance now.
I've got my eyes on you.
Leadway Assurance, insuring happiness since 1970.
Use your money sense. Say how are you? Say they call you for phone. No. Use your money sense. If them text you, send you SMS. Yeah. Use your money sense. Even if them send you email. Use your money sense. Don't give them your PIN number, your card details. Use your money sense.
I beg, make we use our money sense. Our bank details now we own. No share them with anybody for phone, text, or even internet. This message now from Bankers Committee.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool.
Wow.
And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this.
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Find out on the Premier League Live as Southampton take on Manchester City from 3:30 p.m. on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Papai Jebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Thanks for joining us. Now, Yobe State Governor Mai Mala Buni has flagged off the reconstruction of 40-kilometer Jummai Road awarded at the cost of more than 6.3 billion naira with a completion period of 12 months. During the event, the governor noted that the reconstruction of the road is part of the state government recovery drive to rebuild communities, promote economic activities and reclaim means of livelihood of people affected by years of Boko Haram terrorist activities. Correspondent Yusuf Suleiman reports.
The reconstruction of the 40 kilometers Jummai Road in one of the worst hit areas during the peak of Boko Haram insurgency is part of the post-recovery drive to build returnees' confidence and resilience. Governor Mai Mala Buni noted that the reconstruction of the road is to be executed under the multi-sectoral crisis recovery project, a World Bank and federal government agency operating in 3 northeast states of Borno, Adamawa and Yobe.
Reconstruction of this road will no doubt increase the volume of trade in Mutual and Galda weekly markets, stimulate more economic growth, improve revenue generation and boost employment opportunities.
Speaking, the Yobe State Coordinator Multi-Sectoral Crisis Recovery Project, Musa Idijidawa, said the commencement of the reconstruction marked another strides by the agency in consolidating its activities of restoring basic infrastructure for communities severely affected by the insurgency. The reconstruction of the remaining 50 kilometers will be carried out in 2021 in Damaturu. Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And to ensure the safety of lives and property on Nigerian roads, the Federal Road Safety Corps has deployed special personnel and marshals to enforce safety on the roads and compliance with traffic rules during the period of Yuletide. In a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, BC Kazim, the Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi directs that operatives should ensure strategic 24 hours observatory at commands along high volume of traffic gridlock-prone areas with the establishment of 11 traffic control camps and full mobilization emergency ambulance zebra points along with roadside clinics. These measures, according to the FRSC, are targeted at achieving a near-zero road traffic crash throughout the period of Christmas and the New Year. The FRSC therefore enjoins motorists to obey traffic rules on safe motoring during the period while observing the COVID-19 protocols. And Maiduguri is our last port of call on Network News tonight, where Mohammed is standing by with news from that zone. Hello, Mohammed.
Jummai, thanks as always for joining us in Maiduguri.
Over 2,000 women and youths in Borno have benefited from empowerment program, which include training, provision of starter kits, and cash support to the beneficiaries, was flagged off by Governor Babagana Umara Zulum, assisted by Senator Kashim Shettima. Mohammed Goni reports.
Beneficiaries of the empowerment program were trained in different trades to include tailoring, hairdressing, fashion designing and knitting, among others, as well as 25,000 naira as part of efforts to enhance the livelihood support and build resilience of the citizens, especially the IDPs. Beneficiaries of the empowerment scheme were full of gratitude for the support, which they said has not only provided them with means of livelihood, but they can as well be employers of labor. Governor Bagana Umara thanked Senator Kashim Shettima for the empowerment, adding that the scheme, if well utilized, will go a long way in improving the livelihoods of the IDPs and further charge the beneficiaries to use them for the purpose intended. Senator Kashim Shettima said the scheme was intended to key into empowerment drive of Governor Zulum geared towards addressing the challenges confronting the state. Wife of the governor, Dr. Palmata Obagana Umara, said the empowerment program is in line with the 25-year development plan of the state government and further advised the beneficiaries to use the program to change the narrative and actualize their potentials. APC State Chairman Ali Bukar Dalori noted Senator Kashim Shettima's concern to the plight of the citizens of Borno and urged them to be prayerful at all times. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Borno State Primary Health Care Development Agency says 5 new cases of yellow fever disease have been discovered in 4 local government areas of the state. Sequel to this development, the State Social Mobilization Committee on Mass Prevention and Vaccination for Yellow Fever has commenced community sensitization across the state. Jadwa John Jassini reports.
Yellow fever is a dangerous disease that is caused by a virus and is transmitted through the bite of an infected mosquito.
Noting the dangers of yellow fever, Director of Disease Control, Borno State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, who is also the leader of State Social Mobilization Committee on Mass Prevention and Vaccination for Yellow Fever, Babagana Abiso, called for a proactive measure to avoid further spread of the disease.
There are cases of yellow fever from these 4 LGS that we mentioned, Jere, Haul, Goza, and Shani.
Babagana Abiso said continued sensitization is essential in addressing the phenomenon, hence the mobilization exercise.
Once our people are aware of this cause and the signs and symptoms, definitely they will take measures to prevent themselves. This disease is real and it is here with us.
The State Social Mobilization Committee on Mass Prevention and Vaccination for Yellow Fever said an accelerated preventive yellow fever mass vaccination campaign will commence soon, taking into cognizance the second wave of COVID-19. In Maiduguri, Jadwa John Jassini, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Maiduguri. Network News continues after the commercial break.
Find out on the Premier League Live as Southampton take on Manchester City from 3:30 p.m. on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Access Bank, Papai Jebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Team NTA in medal rush at ongoing FESBA competition in Kano. That's on Sports Update.
Many thanks for joining us on Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye. We begin with this cheering news as Gufan Shaji claimed NTA's first gold medal at the 2020 Federation of Public Service Games in Kano on Friday, beating Ife Okolo of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy 21-19 in the final of the women's badminton singles event.
I'm very excited. Last year I was in Lafia and I played and I got a bronze and I felt really bad. So I just want to thank the Director General for making this possible.
It was double celebration for tennis player Chukwunonsonwa Bueze as he won gold for NTA in the men's singles event before partnering Dennis Amo to also clinch gold in the men's doubles. Away from FEPSCA, the Nigeria Olympic Committee has given approval to the trio of the Nigeria Techball Federation, Bobsled and Skeleton Federation, and Nigeria Curling Federation, recognizing the bodies at its virtual annual general meeting. NOC also revealed that it is working with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to ensure Nigerian athletes prepare adequately for the Tokyo Olympics. In the meantime, fast-rising boxer Fiz Oshoba has shifted his attention to representing Nigeria at international competitions after emerging the best boxer at the Champions of Champions boxing tournament, which held at the National Stadium, Lagos.
My ambition is to go for the Olympics qualifier in Paris and have a ticket.
And to football, the Premier League will be live again on NTA this weekend with the clash between informed Southampton and misfiring Manchester City at St. Mary's live from 3:30 on Saturday. In other fixtures, Everton will entertain underperforming Arsenal with Tottenham and Leicester City facing off on Sunday. And that will be all on Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye.
Congratulations to the winners. President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with the family, friends and associates of the first military governor of Northwestern State, Alhaji Usman Farouk, of the passing of the retired Commissioner of Police. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity says the President also extends condolences to the government and people of Gombe State, observing that their eminent son and German Gombe dedicated his life and energy to the unity of the country. President Buhari also notes Alhaji Farouk's commitment to the development of his country and his community even after retirement, stressing that he remained an epitome of kindness and humility. As the remains of the former crack police detective and author are interred Friday, the President prays that Allah will comfort all who mourn the octogenarian statesman and accept his soul in a Jannah Firdaus. The death has also been announced of Mrs. Esther Okere Igwe, who passed away on the 31st of August 2020. She was aged 71. Late Mrs. Esther Okere Igwe will be buried on the 29th of December 2020 at Agbo Owere Onu, Bina Uku Ibere Bande local government area, Abia State. She is survived by her children, one of whom is Linda Okere Igwe, Assistant Manager News, NTA Headquarters. The death has been announced of a community leader, Chief Emmanuel Nduke Oko Nkole of Ozu Abam in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State. He was aged 79. Chief Emmanuel Nduke Oko Nkole served in public service as a teacher before joining the Central Bank of Nigeria, from where he retired as a senior manager in 2005. He is to be buried on Saturday 19th of this month in his hometown, Ozu Abam, Arochukwu local government area, Abia State. Chief Nkole is survived by his children, including a UK-based university lecturer, Awa Nduke Okole, and Honorable Oko Okole Ndukwe Okole, representing Arochukwu Ohiafa local federal constituency in the National Assembly. Well, that's Network News for tonight. Thanks so much for your time. I am Jummai Yusuf.